So everybody, strap yourselves into the world's fastest straightjacket. The Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship for 2025 is about to get underway. Lights on the Donington gantry will glow red, and then we'll see who makes the best start as we go racing. Now, blast off, good getaway by Sutton. Not such a good start by Ingram, so Rowbottom is up alongside him. Down to Redgate they go. Cammish is on the inside, Sutton on the outside. Contact between the pair. Sutton darts to the other side of the road, perhaps wide in and tight out being the plan, and that is the plan. Look, coming off the corner, into Hollywood they go. Sutton up the inside of Cammish, and he takes the lead as they hit the top of the Craner curves. Ash Sutton leads, Dan Cammish second, it's Tom Ingram third. And a time penalty to Ronan Pearson, 10 seconds for a false start. We need to have another look at that, but it may have been out of position rather than creeping. But either way, Ronan Pearson, who at the moment is running in that leading gaggle, is being given a 10-second penalty for a false start. So the engineers have to look at the pictures, which are just slightly delayed to them. So it isn't really worth having the information there anymore. They can't use it to their advantage. Big drama into the chicane. That was Osborne getting into the back of the Toyota, Chris Smiley and Dan Lloyd. Restart Racing Hyundai being given a bit of a shovel off the road. Dan Lloyd it was, wasn't it, getting taken off the road, and as he comes back on, Gordon Shedden I think got caught up in that. Yeah, but look what's happened at the front. The two Napa Fords have stretched away significantly from Ingram now on this lap, and in fact it's Cammish that's getting close to the back of Sutton. And Josh Cook going up on the inside of Jake Hill at the old hairpin. There they are side by side. Jake Hill just stays ahead. Neither of them qualified quite where they wanted to be. Look back for the BMW. Josh Cook right behind as they come up towards McLean's. Josh back in the Honda, back in his happy place, but not quite as quick yesterday as he wanted. Good run out of McLean's up the inside for Coppice. Late on the brakes, Josh Cook goes up the inside. He's got his nose in front, but they're still dead set level coming through the corner. Does the Honda come through ahead? Yes, it does. Josh Cook had to work hard for that, but he goes up into 7th place. A good little Hyundai battle going on here. The Restart Racing car of Dan Lloyd, the Team Virtue car of Adam Morgan. They're going to be side by side. Are they on the run to the chicane? Morgan on the inside. The largely black car of Dan Lloyd on the outside line. Morgan's got the line down the straight into the corner. Bit of boost used, no doubt. Through he has gone. And Adam Morgan then gains a place. He was way back on the grid after track limit dramas yesterday, but he has managed to go through as the leaders then go down through the Craner curves. 9/10 of a second now cover the top three. As here, Max Hall gets up the inside, makes his move, goes through. Mikey Doble, meanwhile, comes through Coppice, and that was a big whack in the back as far as Aaron Taylor-Smith was concerned. Chris Smiley was right there with him. Contact made, and Charles Rainford's BMW gets up the inside, and I think Taylor-Smith has got a problem, hasn't he? Because he's slowed and he's lost a lot of places in a straight line. Yeah, definitely backing going good. Now look, Ingram is right on the back of Cammish, even looking down the inside. So this is now getting very close. If Cammish has got some pace, he needs to show it now and get away from Ingram. And we've only done 7 laps, so we're not even at the halfway point, and it looks as though that medium tyre is now the one to have. Ingram goes second on the inside, coming down to the old hairpin, and there's nothing Cammish can do in retaliation. Now, is that purely tyres, or is there something else amiss with Cammish's car? It's very early to be losing the pace of those soft tyres, and it doesn't seem to be at the moment affecting Sutton. We'll soon get an idea. But again, Cammish was wide on the old hairpin again, and he can't afford to incur any more track limit problems. Great move, and Cammish didn't really fight it, did he? So that implies he knew that he was beaten, either for pace or with a problem. But let's watch what happens now with Ingram if he can close down on Sutton. That off the road is one of the One Motorsport Hondas. It's jelly. It is. It is jelly. Yeah, and he's got damage on the front. Look, he's been off at McLean's. He comes back on at Coppice, but it looks like he's been into the back of somebody. Right, the leaders now work their way up through the chicane, over the line. Sutton to Ingram is 1.2 seconds. That's the starting point now for this lead battle as they begin lap number 9. The gap was half a second. The gap is now 3/10 of a second, and Ingram's got time on his side. Yeah, he's got plenty of laps left, hasn't he? Oh, puncture. That's Morgan. Adam Morgan's got a punctured tyre. And damage. That's more than just that was damage. I was waiting to see the wheel, but the wheel was at a bad angle, so he's had contact with somebody. Look at the speed of Ingram down through the Craner curves. He was looking to line up Sutton, same place he passed Cammish, but Sutton just closed the door a little bit, left the car in the middle of the road, but Ingram's got great pace down the Craner curves. We've had confirmation that Dan Cammish's tyres are dropping off, and now Sutton's will be doing the same. Meanwhile, this is the replay of a bit of contact. That was Oh dear, Josh Cook getting turned towards the tyres, bouncing through, a safety car deployed. That was with Chiltern, wasn't it? And Josh Cook losing out. Safety car on track.
Now, is that because the tyres have been dislodged into a dangerous place? I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Or is it because the car's stopped in a dangerous place? Cammish is in the pits as well, apparently, I'm being told.
And he's got a punch
on the left front. So the softs are not holding up. Either that or the Cammish had too aggressive a setup on Camber on the front. But he was in trouble very early on, wasn't he?
Right, well, again, this safety car helps him because he can stay on the lead lap. At least he can buy back some places, but it's going to be a very disappointing
to change
race.
The tyres, though.
No, you're right.
They're not changing the tyres, so I can only assume he's out.
All right, let's have a look here. This was the contact between Chiltern and Cook. Cook gets sideways. Bang! That's a massive whack. I'm amazed he's still in the race. Here they come, past the go board, back onto the power, up towards the line in a moment. 21 laps then is the duration. The end of lap 15 then now as Ash Sutton, late, accelerates away. Bit of bunching behind him, and Michael Crease is off the road because he accelerated before others, so he's off the road. He's got one of the sponsor hoardings wrapped around the front of the car. That ain't going to help the cooling, that's for sure. Sutton leads, Ingram is second. It is now Rowbottom in third, and this is on board with Hill as Cook and Chiltern are back at battle once again as they go down through the craners. Hill tries to squeeze up alongside Chiltern, who's going to come across in a moment. There he is. He just gives him room. Cook's on the outside line. Mikey Doble joins in. Hill gets ahead of Chiltern. That was a really, really good move down through the craner curves by Jake.
But more importantly, Ingram is glued to the back of Ash Sutton's bumper.
And a big slide there. That's Rainford off the road. Charles Rainford through the gravel, and he's found the tyres, has he? Yes, he has. He just glances off them. Go on, Charles, keep it going. Tries to dig himself out the other side as the leaders come down to the chicane.
Yeah, remember, the first three in this race will have to start the second race on the medium tyre. James Dorlin's race has come to an end. That looks like it's up at Coppice.
It's Redgate, isn't it? He's got a long way off at Redgate.
Oh, it could be.
And I fear that might trigger a safety car again. Here they come, out of the chicane, over the line. And it remains onto the last lap then. Now, Ash Sutton ahead of Tom Ingram by 0.2 of a second, closer now than ever before. And Ingram does this time make a proper push down towards Redgate. He needs to get the tighter line coming off the corner, trying to get up the inside onto the top of the craner curves, and he can't do it there. Sutton moves across, takes the line for the corner as Ingram closes. Sutton on the boost as they go down the hill. Here they come. Ingram to the outside line, no way through there. Again, he wants to try to get the better line off the corner. Accelerate up towards the left of Schwantz curve. Sutton on the boost, again trying to pull away. He knows how close Ingram is, and Ash Sutton has got to hang on in there for another half a lap as they run nose to tail out of McLean's. He's got a little bit of breathing space there, up towards Coppice. Ingram has got this corner and the chicane to go. Cross off Coppice, that's not going to happen for him. He's got to be on the boost now to get close to the chicane overtaking opportunity that he craves. Sutton gets past the slow Hyundai Michael Crease. This is Ingram's last chance, the last corner of the race into the chicane. But again, although he's close, there just wasn't an opportunity. What about on the boost coming out of the chicane? Sutton's got it covered. Here they come up towards the checkered flag. Round one, won by Ash Sutton at Donington. Tom Ingram takes second place, the gap at the flag, 0.267 of a second. Dan Rowbottom takes third, and Jake Hill is going to be fourth there across the line. Ronan Pearson goes through. Let's see where the penalty puts him, because sixth will go to Mikey Doble. Josh Cook, seventh, and look at this great scrum of cars pouring over the line. Dan Cammish, 8th after a pit stop. Mega return to the top 10, that was. 9th, Aidan Moffat. 10th, Chris Smiley. And Dexter Patterson taking 11th on that scramble to the line ahead of Lloyd. Then Pearson on corrected time. Max Hall 14th, and Sam Osborne in the points 15th. What a start to the season. Round 2 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship here at Donington is ready to go. The drivers look towards the lights, which go red. Blast off, and a good getaway this time once more by Sutton. Lots of wheel spin and tyre smoke from Dan Rowbottom, and that means Jake Hill jumped him in that quick starting BMW on the run down towards Redgate. Mikey Doble is right up behind Rowbottom as well. They round Redgate. Sutton leads. Ingram, Hill is up to third. Cook on the outside line tries to clear Doble, then the black and gold Honda comes up on the outside, and they drop downhill for the first time with Ash Sutton then in the lead.
Yeah, a load of wheel spin from Rowbottom's car. That cost him a position to Jake Hill. Going right there. One of the restart Hyundais. Not sure whether that was Dan Lloyd or Smiley.
Chris Smiley, I think.
Yeah.
So he drops back in the queue, but avoids damage. Leaders come through. Sutton still hanging on in there. Ingram second. Jake Hill third. Josh Cook fourth. Rowbottom fifth. Then it's Chilton sixth. And Chilton's just on the fastest lap of the race. He was a winner here 2 years ago, don't forget. As now Ingram thinks about the inside line against Sutton. Still can't do it. Here comes Hill on the outside of Ingram. Here comes Cook up the inside of both of them. This is Jake's Hill view, and it's just going to be Ingram that slots in ahead of him. Cook alongside Hill for third place. Inside line for the old hairpin. Cookie goes through. Great move.
Brilliant racing, brilliant side-by-side racing at 125 miles an hour plus down the crane of curves.
Josh Cook works out where there might be a Honda-sized gap, but Tom Ingram is about to go for the race lead, but he's on the wrong line for the corner. Sutton says, no, you don't, and Ash will still lead at the end of lap number 4. Ingram second, Cook third, and absolutely flying. Hill fourth as they come across the stripe. Rowbottom just fending off Chilton, and then seventh is Cammish, and it's those 7 in a queue for the race lead. Now this was Dan Lloyd getting run out wide, but he didn't really get back on track, so clearly there was a problem as we'd seen, and that was Gordon Shedden versus Max Hall. That's no way to treat a triple champion.
No, no respecter, is he, of a man with the most victories of anyone currently on the grid.
Yeah, the two cars, Darryl De Leon stepping to WSR up from Unlimited, and Aidan Moffat to WSR after driving in a Toyota last year. And De Leon, with a flash of the headlights, does force a mistake out of Moffat, tries to get up the inside at Coppice, and will go through. Here in the meantime, Dan Cammish is on the attack against Dan Rowbottom, because Cammish has got past Chilton, and Cammish is absolutely flying.
He is now, isn't he? He's just suddenly put on a spurt, and he's being let through there by Rowbottom, because probably Robo can see himself that Cammish is on a charge at this point, having, as you say, overtaken Chilton as well.
And a big dive there being made by Aaron Taylor-Smith up the inside of James Dorlin. Goes through, goes wide. Dorlin fights back on the inside. James may be a GT racer, but he came out of One Mate Clio type racing, so he knows all about how to race hard. But Taylor-Smith stays ahead as they swoop downhill. Max Hall back up the inside, and both on the boost here, come down to the chicane. Gordon Shedden just ahead, but Max Hall stands his ground on the inside line and is going to retake the place. Through he goes. Gordon Shedden had run out of boost for that lap as he got towards the chicane. Max Hall goes by. He's on the boost again, coming out of the chicane to try and edge away. So good move that by Max, and he's up now into 13th place. So now the drivers up front. Oh, that's Cook with a problem. Rainford there, but in the background of the previous shot was Josh Cook off the road.
There's a puncture on the back of Rainford's car. The right rear has gone.
The left rear. And there is Cook's problem. That's the front left puncture. He was way off in the gravel, and Josh Cook, punctured tyre, limps round Coppice. So Cook in trouble, Rainford in trouble, and this is how Jake Hill saw it all develop. Just goes bang.
Well, we knew that the left front was vulnerable. It happened to Dan Cammish on the first race. So it's the left front on the front-wheel drive cars that's vulnerable. It's the left rear on the rear-wheel drive car. That's the hardest working tyre on the rear-wheel drive car. And a huge disappointment for Josh Cook. He was going so well, and he hasn't got the luxury that, say, Dan Cammish did of doing it under a safety car. So he's going to lose a lot of places.
And, of course, he's going to miss out on the opportunity to benefit from the reverse grid. So is Charles Rainford, who has parked the car. Big shame that. Charles was really buzzing after yesterday's qualifying, but it's been a tougher race day. He's getting closer to Jake Hill. 11 tenths has just become half a second. Cammish for the podium, that could be on.
Could be on. I mean, but the BMWs are still going well. The hands of Hill, Moffat, De Leon, all in the top 8. At the moment. It looks like that could change.
Darryl De Leon and Dexter Patterson for Unlimited Motorsport round the outside. That is a really brave effort. Chris Smiley gets up the inside. Darryl De Leon doesn't know which way to go. They all make contact, they rub, and Chris Smiley dives through past the pair. Brilliant move.
Great job passing two. He read that situation absolutely perfectly. Got a great run out of Redgate. That was a superb move by Chris Smiley.
Here is the battle for third. Cammish up the inside.
Yeah, and if he's still got boost left, he'll use it on this back straight to pull clear. He's ahead. Look at that. Look at it go. That is the effect of boost, ladies and gentlemen. And one car has it and the other doesn't.
Ash Sutton is on target for a second win of the day for career win number 44, and another great drive looking after not only the tyres but the boost. He's still got a lap left. He hasn't used it. He's been able just on pure pace to defend. Ash Sutton wins round 2 of the championship at Donington. Second across the line, Tom Ingram. And for third place, it is going to be Dan Cammish then, with Jake Hill for fourth. Fifth is Dan Rowbottom, and Tom Chilton rounds out the top 6. We've had some great racing, no doubt about that. Aidan Moffat's on target for 7th. In 8th place, Chris Smiley. Dexter Patterson, 9th. Brilliant result for Unlimited Motorsport. In 10th place, Adam Morgan from 24th on the grid. Gordon Shedden, 11th, and Darryl De Leon, 12th. And another place gain for Gordon Shedden towards the end. It's going to be Max Hall, 13th, James Dorlin, 14th, and Stephen Jelly, 15th. To round out the scorers. So the temperature different from the earlier 2 races. Round 3 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship is ready to go at Donington. Lights go red, lights out. A good getaway this time around by the pole man, Tom Chilton. Dan Rowbottom made a decent start as well. Max Hall does not. He's slow away. Michael Crease on the grass in avoidance. And it's going to be Chilton who leads down towards Redgate for the first time. Rowbottom second, but Jake Hill tries to squeeze up the inside. And then behind, out of the Cammish Sutton battle, that was Sutton going wide. That's Hamilton in the gravel. Nick Hamilton trying to keep his car going, get up the other side. I think he will just about do so as they drop downhill for the first time. Tom Chilton on soft, getting away. Rowbottom having to go defensive, and Chilton building a gap.
Yeah, he's using those soft tyres and pushing hard on lap 1, which may or may not be the right calls, but at least it's got him out of trouble from those behind. Sutton made a great start, went round the outside of Dan Cammish, teammate into Redgate, who gave him room on the exit.
Right, so Sutton is on the attack. That's Rowbottom in 2nd place. Hill, then you've got Ingram, then it's Sutton already up into 5th place. So he's cleared, as you say, his teammate. But Chilton is trying to get away up the road. And these Hyundais have been really fast around here this weekend. But speed is one thing, tyre preservation is another. Then Ingram, then Sutton, battle pack. And look, Sutton is on the attack, trying to find a way past Ingram, who's up the inside of Hill. 2 wheels on the dirt, he keeps on coming. Tom Ingram forces open the door, through he goes. Really brave pass against the BMW, and Ash Sutton tries to find a gap on the inside as well into the old hairpin. He finds the gap, stays alongside the BMW. That's going to put him on the outside line for Schwantz Curve, the inside line for McLean's. So Ingram goes up to 3rd, and Sutton is about to break late and commit to 4th place, is he? Hill gets roughed up a bit on the outside, but Sutton goes through.
Yeah, they're absolutely mugging that BMW, aren't they? And don't forget, Sutton's only got 1 lap of turbo boost to use, and he'll be saving that for sometime later in the race, I should think. It's been a bruising return to the Touring Car Championship so far for Gordon Shedden, hasn't it? But he's in a good place to maybe make up some places here. And down the inside goes Cammish on Hill. They're side by side through the old hairpin, and they will be all the way up towards... Look at the light flashing in Cammish's car. He's got boost, and look how effective that is. Careful not to get a puncture there, though.
They certainly rub. They made contact, but Cammish again claims the inside line. That's at McLean's, through he goes. Aidan Moffat now starts to come into the equation as well. He started race 1 20th, and here he is way up the order in race 2, and he's going to buy back more places. Moffat, remember, is on the soft. That's contributing to this good pace.
Yeah, it is at this stage of the race. Cammish is now clear, but round the outside is coming Moffat of his teammate and championship leader, and he closes the door in front of him. What a move.
Hill has got Smiley behind him. Shedden is on the attack as well with Adam Morgan there. Morgan is just ahead as they come across the line, so that's a change of place. Morgan up to 9th, Shedden down to 10th. There's James Dorlin next up. He's on the soft. Smiley dives out of the draft, goes up the inside of Jake Hill. Smiley winning independent in race 2 for the Restart Racing team, and he's on the attack here. Through he goes. Nicely done.
Yeah, well, the soft-tyred runners are using that advantage at the start of the race, but Jake Hill's deciding not to fight them whilst they've got a tyre advantage if they're going to use it, but it may well be that they come back to him later in the race as Josh Cook gets down the bit of splitter there, or some damage from one of the cars flying up, but Cook is through.
And then you've got James Dorlin's Toyota on the soft right up behind. And James is really flying here. Whoops, he gets into the back of Shedden, and Gordon has a big moment into the chicane. Is he going to survive? He is. Others have to scatter, including one of his teammates there. And he just gets away with it as up the inside for 2nd place goes Ingram. Moves himself through on the inside of Rowbottom.
Well, oh, and he waves a thank you there. You saw a wave of thank you because Rowbottom didn't make it hard, but I think Rowbottom's deciding to try and stroke this car home on the soft tyres rather than attack, whereas Ingram has decided to attack.
So let's have another look at this drama for Shed. I think it was Dorling into the back of him. He came across the front of Hill. It's a big tank slapper. People have to scatter in avoidance. Dan Lloyd on the outside. Aaron Taylor-Smith went through the gravel, and this was Ingram's move.
Yeah, just telegraphs the move down the inside, breaks late, doesn't get any opposition from Rowbottom. He doesn't want to use his tyres any more than he has to. I think, in fairness, Shedden might have actually made contact with the BMW on the braking. Here we go.
Here's the switch. Up the inside goes Sutton. Nice and easy.
Nice and neat. No one running wide. Excellent.
Right, so Sutton was 2.8 seconds back from Chilton at the start of this lap. He's only got one lap of boost to use. As you said early on, he's got to be careful when he uses it. And from Minis, from Porsches, they find themselves on a touring car grid, and they're still scrapping for position. 21st it is as they go down to Redgate, but it's as fierce a fight as you'll find anywhere else. Nick Hamilton is behind, having got out of the gravel after that first lap drama. Side by side, Hall on the inside, take that, Rainford, he says. And Charles gets with a bit of hip and shoulder, forced out wide. Great battle between Moffat and Morgan here as they head up towards the right of Coppice. As far as Moffat's concerned, it's soft tyres, it's the medium for Morgan, and the Hyundai with Chris Smiley's similar car from the restart stable behind. Morgan just drives past the BMW in a straight line on the boost, goes through, secures the place down towards the chicane. Moffat, Smiley into Redgate. Smiley way up the curve on the inside. Moffat a little bit wide. There may have been a brush between them going into the corner, but Smiley goes through. Chris Smiley up into 7th place in the Restart Racing Hyundai. That's
definitely become his favourite overtaking place, hasn't it, on the exit of Redgate. He tees it up very nicely.
Getting a replay on board the Jake Hill BMW of Mikey Doble making the run up the inside of Aidan Moffat going into Coppice. Doble goes through into 8th place. So over the line they go, first to third is still 2.6 seconds. Tom Chilton is driving a really good race on that soft tyre. Ingram being caught, as you can see, further back, deep breath. Osborne ahead of Patterson as they come into the chicane. Still lots of squabbling going on. And there, Charles Rainford and Stephen Jelly have not done yet. Jelly over the gravel. Mikey Doble's got past Chris Smiley at Redgate. Smiley fights back, gets up the inside as he switches lanes. This is for 7th place. Smiley goes back through, just.
Yeah. Got that. He's got that cut back absolutely timed to perfection as Chris Smiley coming out of Redgate.
So all of this hard work is... Oh, that's off the road, Patterson. I was going to say it's all being done on pure pace. No assistance from extra boost. Patterson off the road. Can he rejoin? Or would we get an interruption? 2 laps to go. Down to Redgate. Sutton now thinking about when to make the move.
Well, Ingram had 2 laps of hybrid left, and he only had 2 to start with, but he hasn't used any, and neither had Sutton with 1 to go. So they've both got it to use.
Now that Ingram is defending, that's given Tom Chilton a free ride. He's now 2.2 seconds up the road. So Sutton, yeah, he wants to get 2nd place, but Chilton has a bigger gap than he's had for a few laps. As Sutton tries to switch sides up the inside, curb and all. He's got to be on the boost now, coming out of the corner. Let's see. He doesn't use the boost. That means Ingram stays ahead, and that shows you how rapid the Hyundai can be. Yes, with a bit of boost, but in a straight line, it's advantage Ingram. To echo what Tim says, it's been a faultless performance on the tyre that other people are struggling to make work. Look at the way some are dropping back. He's just pulling away. Right, Sutton versus Ingram. Ash Sutton, he's on the podium provisionally, but which step? Let's see. Up the inside he goes, then dives into McLean's, goes 2nd, but if he goes wide, Ingram can get back up the inside, which he does. Sutton on the outside, Ingram on the inside, and back ahead goes the Hyundai. So the drag race down to the chicane. Tom Chilton's ahead of them. Let's not forget that little dot in the distance is on target to win the race. They're both on the boost, coming out of Coppice. Sutton has had to save it for the last lap. Down to the chicane they come. But Tom Chilton turns through the chicane. Checkered flag is at the ready. There he is, Tom Chilton takes race 3 at Donington. Tom Chilton it is who wins a 17th career win. 2nd place, the drag race goes the way of Tom Ingram. Ash Sutton is 3rd. 4th will be Dan Cammish. Adam Morgan 5th. A great rebuild of the weekend after troubles yesterday. Dan Rowbottom is on target for 6th place ahead of Mikey Doble, who just gets the jump on Chris Smiley. Then it's Aidan Moffat. Jake Hill is 10th. Josh Cook 11th. Aaron Taylor-Smith 12th from Gordon Shedden. And then behind it's going to be Ronan Pearson. And the last point goes to Darrell de Leon, just ahead of Charles Rainford, Stephen Jelly 17th, and then Sam Osborne.